I didn't celebrate Charlie's death. I was sad. But one of the things that grieved me was seeing so many believers who appreciated Charlie not being able to understand why we might not be as impacted over his death in the same way that you are.
Why don't you think he's a martyr? And it's like, because I heard what he said.
Yeah.
And so it's not that I don't appreciate his stances on abortion, on sexuality, on marriage,
yes,
but it's also, I hear other things alongside that don't give martyr.
If you claim to be a Christian and you don't have any sympathy for a Christian brother who is talking about Jesus that bleeds out from the neck globally in the most watched murder in the history of the world, if you turn that into a race issue, that may say a lot more about you.
Mark, if you claim to be a Christian and you don't have any sympathy for why your black Christian sister might have complicated emotions around a man who spent his entire career disparaging black women, going out of his way to sow racial resentment and white rage, well, that says a lot about you, Mark. Jackie isn't making Charlie about race. Charlie made Charlie about race. He made opposing diversity, equity, and inclusion his whole personality. I can't tell you the number of times I heard that man say the phrase, "and they took a job from a more deserving white person." I have a lot of issues with the Perrys, ironically, because they often espouse a version of the gospel that centers white interpretations of the Bible that keep them in the graces of white evangelicalism. I appreciate that they're questioning this martyr narrative being forced on everyone, and the way white evangelical leaders came for them for expressing reservations says a lot about the way evangelicalism loves to platform black creators right up until they refuse to bow the knee to whiteness.
Attention, player haters and overrated disbelievers of all kinds. I stand before you today 10 toes down as the bearer of bad news. Y'all done fucked up.
Ouch. Right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't fight big feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare.
What's happening, y'all? L.A.R. movement still moving. You know, I'm here. It's Christmas time. You get what I'm saying? So hang on the mistletoe, and I'm gonna get to know you better. Doom, doo, 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 doo. This Christmas. But we finna talk about some racism. Ain't that a trip? So, religion and racism go hand in hand because religion basically globally is perverted, okay? So let's get this straight. A lot of people worship God in whatever form, but God was never the religion that you were, okay? So if you're Christian, God wasn't a Christian. And if you stupid and you say Jesus is God, just because you didn't read the Bible, Jesus wasn't a Christian, right? If you Muslim, God wasn't a Muslim. If you Jewish, God wasn't Jewish. I hate to break the news to you, but Jesus was a Jew. Jesus was a Hebrew. Jews didn't exist in that Bible. That's why Moses was a Hebrew. It's a difference. But hey, we changed it to something. That's the problem. Racism got in the religion and it perverted it. You couldn't even take the message for the message because you had to put different colors on it. All right? So, what they're talking about, bruh, don't nobody care now. Okay, that's for one. But you have all of these people. This is where racism is perverted in America because of manifest destiny in the slave trade. Because what you tell people is God told you to go to another place and steal other people's land and kill them and, murdering them and sexually assaulting all the women and go, and God told, the conquistadors, God didn't tell you to do that. You did that. You lied. You're lying on God. Slavery. God told us that we could go here and steal people from, start wars and snatch people from their home and take them and enslave them in somewhere else because God said I could do it. God didn't tell you that. It's in the Bible. You know what's in the Bible? If you take somebody from their homeland, they can kill you. Oh, you didn't read that part? It's in Exodus. The same Bible you try to quote when you go, well, the Bible said, I can tell you what the Bible said because I read it. You didn't read it. You read a part out of context and say, this is what it is. No. Because it's funny how everybody wanted to make God white. God wasn't white. Sorry. Don't nobody know what race God is, but I do know this. You know the race of the people in the Bible. You do know that. And it ain't all them people that y'all got on these walls, they never been white. And they never really was, what you got to, man, they was Arab. No, they wasn't. What are Arabs? An amalgamation of who? Of who? That's why they call them saying N-words. But hey, whatever. So the reason I got to get into this, because you get these people, they take their fake religion and they fake politics, and you put them together, and well, I can be very disrespectful and evil to you, but I'm gonna hide behind God. You can't do the same to me because God said, it's wrong. I can lie, cheat, and steal to you because God's on my side. And if you try to, lie, cheat, and steal back, oh, that's evil. That's American Christianity. I can kill your family because of God. But if you avenge your family, oh, that's evil. That's American Christianity. And here's the thing. And I can even bring it to the thing, even with the Christianity and Islam with the women thing. The women ain't supposed to do this and the women ain't supposed to do that. The women not supposed to do a lot of stuff. I ain't gonna say a lot, but the women are held to certain standards. But bitch, men are supposed to do a lot of stuff and held to certain standards. See, here's the issue. Y'all use them books and you point at the women and you go, but all the bitch ass behavior you got, you just don't. But I am a man, and it's because I am a man. Because I said I am a man. God said I am a man. I can act like a bitch. No, you can't. No, you can't. Same thing with these other religions. We got the same religion, but we different races. So God told me I can hate you in the religion that we're following together. If you don't shut your whole ass up, that's ain't Christianity, Islam, Judaism. It's racism is the linchpin. So don't tell me you following a religion, bro. Don't tell me you following the way of God. No, you're not. No, you're not. God told me that it's okay. God didn't tell you that. God ain't never spoke to you. If you think God told you can go do evil to other people, maybe, obviously, you was listening to the devil. You couldn't tell the difference because you ain't give a fuck. This is the ultimate issue with religion. This is why, how can I say this properly? This is why people are more spiritual than religious. Because the spirituality is more in connection with God than religion. See, religion is money, race, sex. And you use race and sex to make sure you get more money than the other people. So your religion is for sale, for racist purposes, for sexist purposes. So I'm not trying to hear this bullshit y'all trying to spill, but if you see something happening to somebody white who's religious, it's wrong. You saw stuff happening to people. You saw stuff happening to black Christians. You didn't give a fuck. You saw stuff happening to Hispanic Christians. You didn't give a fuck. You saw stuff happening to, what do you call Polynesian, Arab, Christians. You didn't give a fuck. Same thing with you Muslims. You saw stuff happening to the black Muslims, you didn't give a fuck. There's Hispanic Muslims, you didn't care. The Asians, you didn't care. You don't care. And it's vice versa, and it flips most of the time. It flips most of the time. You got black Muslims saying they ain't even black. So at the end of the day go in, I know. All of this religious talking, you need to be a sympathizer with, all that's just twisted-minded, evil, soft bitches who want you to. God is supposed to be on their side and not yours. See, God is supposed to do right by them, but not you. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. And most of these people ain't worshiping God. They're worshiping their own ideals and ideologies and idols. And race is an idol. Sex sometimes is an idol. Money is an idol. So don't get it twisted. These people ain't worried about God. They're worried about their idols. God is just the excuse people use for you to be on the side of their idol. Because their God is either money, race, or sex. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. This Christmas. Peace.